Lore Master Jito here. I'm the Librarian of Azeroth, and I'm bringing you the lore straight from the books. Today we're reading the third section of the Mage Order Hall book, Archive of the Tirisgarde, written by Adira. Here she is. Originally the mage trainer in Exodar, she's now a Tirisgarde researcher. Thanks, Adira. This third section covers Ebonchill, an icy staff passed down from master to apprentice until a guardian's betrayal claimed it for the Burning Legion. The half-elf Aladi wielded Ebonchill during his long tenure as the first guardian of Tirisfal. He infused the great staff with his extraordinary power, and he began a tradition of passing the weapon down from mage to mage. For thousands of years, this practice continued uninterrupted. Some of Azeroth's mightiest spellcasters used Ebonchill to hunt down and vanquish the Burning Legion's wicked agents. When the Legion stole Ebonchill, the tradition put in place by Aladi was broken, but only for a time. Now, in your hands, the Great Staff can once again fulfill its purpose to safeguard Azeroth. The tale of Ebonchill begins with a half-elf mage named Aladi. Though he did not create the staff, he made it into the legendary weapon it is today. Aladi never knew his real parents. From infancy, he was raised in an orphanage for magically gifted children in Dalaran. His only connection to his parents was Ebonchill, which they had left with the boy when they abandoned him at the school. His dubious parentage and mixed ancestry made life difficult for Aladi. Most magi pitied him, but the others treated him with scorn. No one believed he would rise to greatness. They were mistaken. In time, the orphan would become the first guardian of Tirisfal, one of the most powerful magi to have ever lived. Aladi became guardian at a dire time for the Council of Tirisfal. The secret order of Magi was created to protect Azeroth from demons. For many years, its members succeeded in their quest. Then, a demon lord named Natir changed everything. The demon infiltrated Dalaran and thwarted the Council's attempts to stop him. Natir showed unrest in the streets, threatening to engulf the city in turmoil. To defeat Natir, the Council of Tirisfal's Magi took drastic measures. Through a complex ritual, they infused all of their power into Aladi. It was an act of great trust and faith. Natir was no match for the newly empowered Aladi. The Guardian unleashed his astonishing power on the demon and banished him from the world in short order. From his early days in the Dalaran orphanage, Aladi had been fascinated with frost magic. This was due in part to the icy enchantments woven into Ebonchill. With the staff, Aladi learned how to freeze water and manipulate air temperature, often to the chagrin of the orphanage headmaster. Shortly after Aladi became guardian, he honed his mastery of frost magic and imbued Ebonchill with his own powers. A wintry aura enveloped the staff. Much to the astonishment of Aladi's companions on the Council of Tirisfal, the weapon never felt cold to the touch. Ebonchill contained only a sliver of Aladi's might, but even that was more than most magi could ever hope of wielding. During Aladi's tenure as guardian, he used Ebonchill to hunt down every demon that stalked the lands of Azeroth. Many records tell of him calling down vicious ice storms to overwhelm his enemies, or encasing the Legion's agents in solid blocks of ice before exiling them from the world. Near the end of Aladi's 100 years of service as guardian, he turned his attention to his apprentices. He had trained and tutored many young magi in the ways of the arcane. They had become the family that he never had, and he treated them all as his own sons and daughters. Aladi decided to pass on Ebonchill to one of these learned apprentices. He did not choose the most powerful. More important to Aladi were compassion, wisdom, and camaraderie. After much consideration, he entrusted his great staff to the apprentice who most embodied these traits. So began the tradition of bequeathing Ebonchill that would endure for millennia. All was well with the Council of Tirisfal until the rise of Guardian Egwene. The gifted mage grew suspicious of the Order. She believed that the Council was abusing its power by manipulating the politics of human kingdoms. At the end of her 100 years of service, she refused to step down as Guardian. Egwene's disobedience eventually forced the Council's hand. It formed the Tirisgarde, a group of talented magi charged with hunting down and subduing the wayward Guardian. Among the Tirisgarde was a promising but arrogant young spellcaster named Tarthan. His aging master had long ago inherited Ebonchill, and he was in the process of choosing which apprentice would take it up next. Tarthan fully expected to receive the great staff. He eclipsed his fellow apprentices in raw power and potential, but Tarthan's master put little weight in these things. When the day of the ceremony came, the elderly mage gave Ebonchill to another apprentice, one who embodied the qualities of compassion, wisdom, and camaraderie. After his master passed on Ebonchill to a different apprentice, Tarthan wallowed in anger and bitterness. He believed he had been wronged, and he was determined to prove himself. Tarthan stole Ebonchill from its new owner, taking great care to cover up evidence of his crime. In secret, he practiced with the great staff and learned to wield its extraordinary energies. Only a handful of Tarthan's most trusted Tirisgarde allies knew of his theft. They alone witnessed him bending Ebonchill's magics to his will, and they were in awe of the power at his fingertips. Once he was confident he had mastered Ebonchill, Tarthan set out to do what no other Tirisgarde had thus far managed. He would defeat Egwin and forever etch his name in the histories. An excerpt from a missive sent to the Council of Tirisfal. We have studied the residual magics at the battle site. Here is our assessment of what transpired. Tarthan confronted Egwin in Stranglethorn Vale. In terms of the power used by the two magi, the duel that ensued was one of the greatest to have ever occurred between a Tirisgarde and the renegade guardian. But it was also one of the shortest. Tarthan bore Ebonchill in battle, the great staff reported stolen some months ago. When he unleashed the weapon's stored power on Egwin, she immediately turned the energies back on him with a counterspell. A storm of frost magic surged over Tarthan, encasing him in a layer of diamond-hard ice. Despite the hot weather in the region, Tarthan was still frozen solid when we found him. It took considerable effort to thaw his corpse and free Ebonchill from his lifeless hand. The Council of Tirisfal Magi who recovered Ebonchill returned the great staff to its owner. Over the following years, the tradition of handing down the weapon from master to apprentice continued. Many of these magi used Ebonchill to protect Azeroth from demons, but not the human named Orexis. Orexis was a lover of knowledge. For days on end, he would lock himself in his personal archives, poring over ancient tomes and scrolls. When Ebonchill passed to him, he decided to study the great staff rather than wield it in battle. Orexis knew well the weapon's history and deadly potential. From his examinations, Orexis believed he could employ Ebonchill as a catalyst to power great spells, feats of magic that normally only a guardian would be capable of. Over time, he harnessed the weapon's energies and used them to research new types of warding spells. Orexis lived in a time of upheaval and turmoil for the Council of Tirisfal. The current guardian was named Medivh, and he was the son of Egwin. Like his rebellious mother, he shunned the council and largely kept to himself. Unbeknownst to the council and the rest of the world, a great evil stirred in Medivh's soul. Sargeras, leader of the Burning Legion, had possessed the Guardian. Due to Sargeras' manipulation, Medivh forged a pact with the Orcish horde and began paving the way for its invasion of Azeroth. To prevent the Council of Tirisfal from meddling in his affairs, the Darkened Guardian secretly assassinated some of its members. Medivh's gaze soon fell upon Orexis and Ebonchill. In pursuit of his studies, Orexis gathered his apprentice magi and established a research camp near Medivh's domain, the Tower of Karazhan. The structure was built atop a nexus of potent ley lines. The energies that coursed through Karazhan sometimes warped reality in the region. Orexis and his followers experimented with their warding magics outside Karazhan, attempting to neutralize the tower's strange powers. The records indicate that Guardian Medivh visited the Magi at this time and offered his advice. He suggested that Orexis could apply his warding spellwork in new ways, specifically to prevent demons from clawing into the world. Though some members of the Council of Tirisfal distrusted him, Orexis did not. He welcomed Medivh's support. Orexis' trusting nature would be his downfall. No one knows for sure what Medivh did during his visit with Orexis. The details are shrouded in mystery and hearsay. Some rumors claim that the Guardian altered Ebonchill so it would disrupt Orexis' warding spells and destroy the venerated mage. Whatever the truth, it is known that Orexis heeded Medivh's advice. The elderly mage and his followers conducted a great ritual to protect an area from demonic incursions. The spell was only meant to be a test, but it had disastrous consequences. When the Magi began their casting, they inadvertently opened a path between Azeroth and the realm of the demons, the Twisting Nether. Orexis and all of his followers were ripped through the gateway and were never seen again. One account states that within the Twisting Nether, a handful of demons fell upon the shocked Magi and slaughtered them to the last. The demons were led by an Eredar known as Baladur. He took Ebonchill as a trophy of his bloody victory, and the ancient tradition of passing the Great Staff from master to apprentice died alongside Orexis and his doomed protege. And that was Ebonchill, from the Archive of Tirisgarde in the Legion Mage Order Hall. Let me know your thoughts on the lore we uncovered today in the comments below. If you're craving more lore, here's a few recommendations from the collection to browse. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to activate your library card and check out more books with me, the Librarian of Azeroth. Thanks for watching.